Okay, listen, brother. As you see me bitch slapping you right here on national airwaves.
The only thing you can bitch slap.
What part of that seems like cozying up? What's the part of that seems like cozying up to the right? I think you're an idiot. I think you love that coup on January 6th. I think you hate our democracy. I think you hate our Constitution. So what part of that is cozying up to the right wing? Bitch?
I hate snakes like you who try to get in as good as you can with a weak right like Charlie Kirk when you have weaponized political violence yourself.
Oh, Charlie Kirk is weak right and you're strong right.
At the same time.
Interesting.
In this video, Cenk Uygur calls out far-right lunatic Andrew Wilson in a heated debate. Things get explosive as Cenk goes head-to-head with Andrew Wilson, spewing out culture war nonsense. From January 6th to Christian nationalism to woke hysteria, this debate is just pure chaos. Andrew even tries to call Cenk a flip-flopper, but Cenk just isn't having it with him, and he just keeps firing back hard. This debate is one of the most heated, unfiltered, and one of the wildest debates you'll ever see. So make sure to watch till the end to see how Cenk Uygur calls out far-right lunatic Andrew Wilson in this heated debate.
At the same time, you say, wait a second. Oh, I can't believe the J6ers coup d'etat. You didn't give a damn. You've never given a damn. We have your words on record. You flip-flop. You're the biggest flip-flopper on the left. You're known for it. People make fun of you for it because you move positions. You and Anna Kasparian both move positions like a tube of toothpaste.
Oh, Trump! I love Trump! Oh, I love Trump so much.
And all you care about is Trump derangement syndrome. All you have is Trump derangement syndrome.
All right, let me try.
TDS, always on display.
But wait a minute.
Time out.
I gotta say one thing.
You both made your feelings clear.
How can you say that I'm cozying up to the right and say I have Trump derangement syndrome?
All right.
Make up your mind. You're a very poor thinker.
We watched the entirety of his entire first term. You were Russia. He's a colluder. He's evil. He's this and that. And he flip-flopped on that position the second it was politically expedient.
Okay. Let me try
None of those things are true.
Let me try and move on to guys, let's move on to some policy debate. Andrew, let me ask you, do you feel like the woke worm is in reverse as strongly as I'm sensing it is? And it's specifically just the simple statement from Trump that the policy of the United States will be to recognize two genders, male and female. Well, that's always been the case. It's just incredible that the president of the free world effectively has to make this clear to people who'd lost their minds and believe that actually men can be women and women can be men. But do you feel that this has been a big marker in the beginning of the end of the woke mind virus, as Musk calls it?
No, it's not the end of the woke mind virus. You're going to always have to battle this as definitions change because people need to justify their insane and degenerate behavior in society. So they come up with all sorts of nonsense like this. In this particular case, the trans advocacy groups have done more to reverse any type of progress LGBTQ people in the United States have made in the last 30 years because of what they're trying to do with children and the fact that they don't care that you, as a Christian, do not believe at all that a man can become a woman.
So Andrew just contradicts himself instantly here, calling Cenk both a flip-flopper and someone with Trump derangement syndrome. But Cenk just shuts that down real fast. Then Piers shifts the whole debate to wokeness, giving Andrew the perfect setup for a trans panic rant. Andrew Wilson just goes off, claiming trans advocacy has reversed LGBTQ progress, and that Trump's two-gender policy is just common sense. This is classic right-wing fear-mongering. There's no proof that trans rights have harmed LGBTQ progress. This is just another excuse to attack marginalized groups. Wilson even leans into Christian nationalism, pretending this is about protecting faith, when really it's just about forcing his far-right worldview on everyone else. Cenk just isn't having it with him, and Andrew Wilson's arguments are just all over the place, and Cenk just keeps calling out his hypocrisy in real time.
So yes, this is whiplash on that. There's going to be a lot more whiplash that's going towards that as people reject categorically what these people have been trying to push on us. You can look no further than what just happened at the inauguration. You have a female bishop. That's an impossibility. That is not Christian at all. You're not allowed to have female bishops. That is satanic. That's literally satanic to have a female bishop come up and say anything. You can laugh, but it is. That's Satan speaking. And the reason you're laughing is because it's true.
Well, Cenk, I'll get you to respond, but first of all, let's play the clip of that bishop, because my objection was actually for different reasons. Let's take a look at it.
I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here.
So, Cenk, I mean, notwithstanding Andrew's position on the fact there shouldn't be a female bishop, but the fact that she was there on such a big historic moment, delivering a kind of scolding woke lecture with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and their wives sitting there, I just thought it was completely inappropriate. I didn't care who the president was or what the scolding was, but to turn the pulpit into a scolding thing about all America's gay children are going to be running for their lives, I just thought it was completely wrong.
Yeah, Piers, I totally disagree. I loved it, and the reason I loved it is because it's truth to power. And you could say, hey, it's her truth. It's the truth of about half of Americans. It's not necessarily the truth, but at least she's trying to challenge the powerful, and I love that. Look, the reason why a lot of people agree with me is because I challenge the powerful on both sides, on the Democratic side and the Republican side. And that makes the partisans get super mad at me. No, Biden's right about everything. No, Trump's right about everything. No, I love that she spoke for half the country and she said it right to his face. I wish reporters would do that. And I think a lot of the reporters got the message to be softer on Trump. No. Be harder on the Democrats and the Republicans and the establishment. Be harder on everyone. So do exactly as she did, even though apparently she's Satan. Brother, look, how can I talk to you, man, when you say such ludicrousness? Do you know that like 95% of Americans, when you say that she's satanic because she's a woman bishop, think that you're nuts? Do you at least understand and acknowledge that?
First of all, they don't. You don't understand anything about the Bible, apostolic succession, church history. You don't know anything about these things, Cenk. You have no idea what you're talking about. First of all, she wasn't speaking truth to power. She was speaking subversiveness to goodness. And that's what's actually going on, and that's what Democrats are great at doing.
And Andrew just goes full religious extremist, calling a female bishop literally satanic, and claiming women in leadership aren't Christian. That's just false. Cenk just shuts him down immediately, pointing out that many Christian denominations allow female bishops. Andrew didn't even specify denomination. He's just ranting. Female bishops exist in multiple Christian traditions. Andrew's claim is just nonsense. Then Piers just pivots, claiming that the bishop's speech was too woke. But what did she actually say? She just preached about compassion and welcome immigrants, things that the Bible literally teaches. And Andrew just keeps doubling down, calling it subversion. But Cenk just...
Yes, it is completely satanic to have inversion. Inversion is when you take what is considered the Christ head, in this case a bishop, and invert it to a woman. That's what you people are great at doing, is inversion. If you looked at the 2,000 years of Christian history, you would understand this, especially church history, going all the way back to the time of Christ and apostolic succession. People, you can, but the truth is that people get all of their ethics and goodness in this nation from biblical ethics and Christian ethics, not from Cenk Uygur thinks it's neat that a chick can do this. It's like, no, that's not part of our ethical standard there. That's not what it is. We don't have an ethical standard based around your version of the woke Bible. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When you call a respected bishop a chick and satanic.
Respected by who?
It's funny that you don't see that you lose such a giant percentage of the country. And so, like, guys like this make it nearly impossible for a huge part of the country to ever vote for Republicans. Because if you vote for a Republican, you're going to get these ghouls and goblins. And they're going to say, oh, yeah, chicks shouldn't be on bishops, man. It's inversion, dude. It's satanic. You sound insane. You sound, to me, honestly, you sound like you belong in a mental asylum. Or when you call people satanic. What the hell does that even mean?
Always going
to because she's a woman, just because she's a woman, she's satanic in that role. See, that's exactly why I'm a populist, but I can't be populist, right? When guys like this
speaking
say
truth
such
to power,
insane things and
What's your
drive
problem?
hatred. Drive hatred. You're right, I am power, so keep going.
Remember how you said I'm massive, I'm huge, I have this massive audience. So I'm here saying, speaking truth to power. You should be all about that. You should be loving the fact that I'm telling you something now, which is true.
Except you're speaking gibberish to power.
It is
is Beelzebub in the room with us right now?
It is an inversion.
Is Beelzebub and Shaitan in the room with us?
I'm sorry. You hate Christianity? You hate Christian ethics, Cenk?
Time out. Let's move Christian ethics to another debate.
And now Andrew just completely spirals off control, ranting about inversion and Christian ethics, while Cenk just tears him apart immediately for sounding completely unhinged. The more Andrew just keeps doubling down on his religious extremism, the more he just alienates normal people. Exactly why Cenk says guys like this make Republicans unelectable. Even Piers has to step in to change the subject, because at this point, Andrew's meltdown is just impossible to take seriously. Anyways, if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below.